Hey guys, so recently we've had a new charity shop open in the middle of town which was selling comic books for either £4 or £6 each instead of the usual £11 to £15. So I went on a bit of a haul and spent 80 quid on comic books I didn't have. But I thought I'd haul them anyway because I've bought them, so I may as well do a haul video for them. So without further ado, here is my Marvel comic book haul. The first thing I got was the official handbook of the Marvel Universe Deluxe Edition, and this is a really beat up copy, but I had to have it because it's reminiscent of the old comic book style of all the paper and everything, and also it's older than me. It's actually from I have absolutely no idea. 1986. It's from 1986. This is a decade older than I am, and I could not resist buying it. The next one I got was SpiderMan Greatest Villains, and this is sort of like a big wrap-up of a whole load of mini Spider-Man comics with a whole load of his, obviously, greatest villains. And it looks like this on the inside, so it's like proper classic, like, comic style, which I really liked, and I don't know that much about Spider-Man, apart from what I've seen in the original films and the one with Tom Holland, and obviously what I've seen of Civil War. So I wanted to know a bit more about him, and I thought I'd get to know him through his villains. So I picked this one up, and then I got this hulking, great big, essential Punisher comic, and it's also got Spider-Man in it, and I think this is actually collecting the Punisher's earliest appearances. So when he's appeared in a Spider-Man comic, a Captain America one, Daredevil, and a whole load of others, and I just really thought this was really interesting. Also, all of it is in black and white. It's entirely in black and white, which was really interesting actually, and it really caught my eye. I've also obviously watched the Punisher series. I, to be honest, preferred him in Daredevil series 2, I think, but that's mostly because the style of the Punisher TV show just isn't really my thing. I'm not really into like military, like conspiracy stuff, so that wasn't really part of my interest, but at the same time I'm still really interested in the character of the Punisher, and I think this is a really good place to start. I'm probably going to end up dipping in and out of this because, I mean, look at the size of it. It scares me how big that is. It actually genuinely scares me, but because it's a comic book I should probably whiz through it quite quickly. Then I got something more modern, the Civil War comic. The original, is this the original? No, I think this is the latest Civil War. I've no idea if this is the latest Civil War or not, actually. 2006, so this is actually the original Civil War comic from 2006. And I was originally avoiding Civil War comics because Civil War the film hurts. But I saw this, and it was originally 24 quid. And it was down to 6. Who was I said to say no to that? Of course I picked it up, and I will read it eventually. But at the moment, I know how this ends, and I'm quite scared to read that with Infinity War coming up, so I may leave this a while. Then I also got a great big hardcover of X-Men Second Coming, which, by the way, I have no idea what half of these books are about. I just picked them up because I was like, oh, Marvel Comics have to buy. So this one is obviously all about mutants and things, and it's got Cable in it, and Sentinels, and a whole load of other people. This is the back of it, so you can see Cable and Wolverine and a few others I don't know. I don't actually know much about the X-Men universe apart from obviously what I've seen in the films. I'm very far behind in the X-Men universe. I've actually, the only X-Men comic I own before this haul was a Legion comic, and again inspired by the TV show. I'm complete TV show trash, and I should probably read the comics first, but as I've said before, I am seriously in catch-up mode with comics and books in general. But I saw this one and thought I had to have it because it's a great big massive hardback, which was originally $40 in America. None of these actually have English prices on, so as I say prices, I actually mean American dollars. But this was originally $40, which makes it about 30 quid, I think. And it was down to like 6 or 8 or something, so of course I picked it up. I then picked up Marvel Team Up, and I mean, all I have to do is show you the front cover to show you why I wanted to pick this up, didn't I? Wolverine, Doctor Strange, Punisher, Iron Man, Black Widow, and Spider-Man. Was I really going to say no to that? No, I wasn't. Speaking of Wolverine, I also picked up Wolverine Back in Japan, and again, I thought this could possibly be like what the Wolverine movie was based on, and to be honest, I hated that movie. But reading the write-up, it doesn't sound like it is, and I'm just very, very interested in Wolverine. I'm not over Logan. I will never be over Logan. But Wolverine has always been one of my favourite X-Men characters, and I just wanted to know more about him, and this was one of the only ones they had on Wolverine in the shop, so I picked it up anyway. The next one I picked up was Marvel Ultimates number 3, Who Killed Scarlet Witch. Now again, I have not read Marvel Ultimates 1 or 2, but this was the only one they had in there at the time, and I was really, really interested in the idea of the whole Who Killed Scarlet Witch thing, so I'm hoping I actually understand what's going on. I then also got the Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, and this is Scorpion. Yeah, this is a Miles Morales Spider-Man comic. Again, I know nothing about Miles Morales. Literally, I know absolutely nothing about Miles Morales. So I was very, very interested when I saw this and thought it'd be a great place to start with him because A, it was cheap, and B, it was there, and C, it's a good place to sort of figure out Miles Morales and see what he does differently from Peter Parker and things like this, so I immediately picked it up. I then also got the Uncanny XMen, and as you can tell by this cover, this is a bit of a classic, and that's why I picked it up, essentially. It says that Mandarin has a new assassin, Psylocke, and obviously, I know of the Mandarin, and I know of Psylocke, and I quite like Psylocke as a character, so I thought this would be a great place to sort of, like, figure out her in the comics and to find out more about the original Mandarin. I also got the Ultimate Fantastic Four, and this is Frightful, and I think, is this the zombie one? I think this is actually the zombie one. Yeah, the zombified Fantastic Four. So, I'm quite interested in this. I've heard a bit about Marvel Zombies, but I haven't obviously read any yet. But I also quite like the Fantastic Four, but what really interested me is the fact that Thor is on the back, which I'm quite interested in, and essentially I just really missed the Fantastic Four, and if Thor's going to be in it as well, of course I picked it up. I also picked up X-Men Day of the Atom, which is, I've absolutely no idea, but I did see characters on here that I recognise, so I picked it up, and the characters I recognise are Wolverine, Rogue, Gambit, and Juggernaut, so I was quite interested in this. Again, I know nothing about the X-Men universe, so I thought this would be another place to sort of explore more of the X-Men universe. And also, again, it was like £4, so how was I going to say no? Still on the X-Men theme, I also got Ultimate X-Men Fire and Brimstone, and basically, I have no idea. I picked most of these comics up blind, if I'm honest, so this one, again, had Wolverine on, so I figured I'd read this one as well and buy it because, again, it was like £4. And then on the Zombies theme, I also picked up Marvel Zombies Volume 2. I have no idea what the Marvel Zombies, like, entire storyline is really about, apart from the fact that they're all zombies, and I don't know if there's, like, a backstory to this or an explanation or anything, but I'm very, very interested in the storyline. This is the second one in the storyline, so I'm probably going to have to do some catching up and hunting down the original, but I thought that I'd give this a shot and see if I like the storyline. I also got Iron Man, The Secret Origins of Tony Stark, and I think this came out when Iron Man 3 came out, I think. I don't actually know, but I love Iron Man, and I don't know, like, anything about the, like, Tony Stark, further than what has been seen in the films and what I've read on Wikipedia pages, and if this actually goes into Tony's childhood and things like that, I'll be really, really interested to see what that's all about, because I know some things from seeing comic panels online, but I don't actually know that much about his childhood, and I'm very, very interested in that. And finally, I also got Dark Reign Accept Change, and this one has got a whole load of characters on the back, which I prefer to think about than the smoking Iron Man helmet on the front, to be honest. Basically, the top, it says the secret invasion is over, if I can get the sun out of it. But this one I picked up because Secret Invasion is rumoured to be the next big storyline in the MCU, and I know nothing about it further than the fact that it's about the Skrulls, and I figured that this would be a good place possibly to start with. Probably not, because this is set after Secret Invasion, but I was going to read it anyway, probably around the time that that storyline starts, if it starts, but I thought I'd pick it up just in case. But that is all the books I've hauled. I can't be bothered to count them because I'm scared to, quite frankly, but there's a lot here, to be honest, and I've been meaning to haul them for a while, so now I'm very, very happy that I did. But have you guys read any of these comics? If you have, please tell me down below what you thought of them and which ones I should prioritise. Also, if you've got any ways of buying the originals or like the previous books in these storylines in the UK, please tell me that down below so I can obviously buy the first one so I know exactly what's going on, because I feel like I'm going to be very confused for half of these comics because I've got no idea about the origins of them, and I don't particularly fancy Wikipediaing it when I could just read the comic, you know, if I can. So if you do have any information on that, I don't mind if it's on Kindle or whatever, please just tell me down below so I can check all of the originals out. If you enjoyed this video, please do give me a thumbs up, and if you have any information about buying comics or anything like that, please tell me down below so I can check anything else out that I need to, or if you think I really should read a certain comic first or anything like that, please tell me all of that down below. I'll leave the links down below to all my social media if you want to check any of those out, because I'll probably be reviewing some of these comics and stuff on my blog, which is also linked down below. And if you want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and to see my previous video, please click here. But until next time, guys, bye!